Hi, friends. Welcome to Channel Surf. If this is your first time here, I'm Jazz, and I watch a shit ton of TV. And one of the shows that I am obsessed with is RuPaul's Drag Race, and I have been recapping this season. Well, we're only on episode 3, but I recapped it last week, and I was like, I think I need to recap the entire season. So I was searching far and wide. I was like, who is somebody that I really want to talk to about Drag Race? And lo and behold, somebody just came across my desk because blessings just follow me. Anyway, you have seen this person on TV already. I'm so excited because I miss seeing him so much. I know you miss seeing him too. Without further ado, one of the stars of Summer House Martha's Vineyard, Preston. Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. I am so excited to see you. I miss having you on my TV screen every week. Like, the world has never been the same.
Listen, I miss being there. And, I can't lie. The fact that people say that so often means that I know we did our big one with that show, regardless of where it is now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know how much you can speak to this, but the last time we as the audience heard is that you guys were on pause. So it wasn't an official cancellation. But what exactly does pause mean?
Yeah, if I'm being real, I think pause is just a very nice way of saying cancel.
Okay.
Yeah, like I know for sure. I've even talked to a few people in production, and they're like, some shows do come back, and I'm like, yeah, like Real Housewives of Miami 9 years later.
Yeah.
So you're right. I guess if you want to use that as the litmus test, but in 9 years, I'll be 48. So I think it may look a little different than Summer House Martha's Vineyard, with me being on it.
It's going to be Summer House Martha's Vineyard geriatric version.
Geriatric edition.
Listen, it's no shade because in 9 years, I will be also in my 40s as well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, look, if they bring it back and y'all come back, I'll watch it.
Listen, maybe I'll actually have a home on the Vineyard by then. So who knows? So there could be something there.
I love that even more. You'll have a home on the Vineyard, and then I can pop in as a friend of because I'll have a home, a couple of blocks away.
Uh-huh.
Me and my private school children, we
Period.
will pop in.
So we can make it work. Y'all hear us, Bravo? NBCU, do you hear us?
Yes, listen to the people. So today we're going to be recapping Drag Race Season 18, Episode 3. RDR Live Returns is the title of this episode. I'm going to tell you, I think the RDR Live, that's probably one of my least favorite challenges. What about you?
Same. It's a little too long for me.
Yeah, it is.
It's because I like theater, I like Broadway, I like all those things, but RDR Live it's but even when I see a bad performance, honestly, I can't really tell if it's a bad performance or not based on what they want to see. And so it's just really interesting to me as I watch RDR Live every season because I'm like, we could have had a different challenge for this one again.
Yeah, and I don't know if you think this too. When I'm watching RDR Live, like you mentioned, it's so hard to tell what is a good performance versus what is not. And it feels like it's never really consistent across the judges either, because some years I feel like they use challenges like the RDR Live to further storyline. So if we have a queen that's like already doing bad, then they're probably going to do bad in RDR Live. Or if we're trying to get a queen with a redemption arc, that's when they usually start to get their redemption arc.
Exactly. And it's pretty true every season.
Yep. It's very much a bridge challenge, but nonetheless, I still like it. I love Drag Race. It's one of my favorite shows. And so let's get into it. But before we start talking about the events of episode 3, I want to ask you, coming in, do you have any favorite queens so far?
I do. And I will say this. There are some moments watching Drag Race where I can tell I'm going to like the queen just from intro. Like one of my biggest examples is Simone. Like Simone, based on the aesthetic, her hair, like the grills. I was like, this is something different for Drag Race. And I'm actually really excited to see how she plays out. And she won. And was pretty solid throughout the entire competition. Even when they said she was in the bottom, I was like, it's not the best, but it's better than a lot of these other people. But to your point, they wanted to, sometimes in Drag Race, they really want to give people the scare because they already know who's in the lead. And so they always want to give us the scare of something. This season, I'm always going to root for the Black queens early, always. That, to me, is even though Drag Race has had a lot of Black queens win it ain't enough. I don't care. A Black queen can win every single season and it's still not enough.
So we got to keep it diverse, Preston.
Yeah, sure. There's diversity in Blackness. Look, but I will say this season so far right now, some of my favorites, I'll speak on personality, then I'll speak on just overall aesthetic. I really, really, really like coming in, loved Vita. Like the makeup to me was already like, this gonna be a good a bad bitch otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
The makeup was always on top of it. Already alive, she struggled. So I'm like, I hated the voice. We'll get to that. But Vita still to me is like probably someone like a Silent Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because I'll talk about the Black Queens. Kenya Pleaser, I actually really like Kenya Pleaser's personality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure I'm sold on the aesthetic yet. She definitely sells whatever she's wearing, but it just looks a little bit not up to par when I compare it to the other girls on the runway. Jane Don't, to me, is probably my biggest shock of how someone who's just been consistently good. And I don't know what I expected from Jane Don't, but fierce. I have to give her all the props because she's been storming. And then probably I would say I do like Juicy Love. Also shocked me this past episode. But those two together, that runway challenge and then the acting challenge, like that was one of the ones that actually made me laugh the entire time where she was going.
Yeah.
And then a couple others, but those are probably like my 4 right now, I would say.
I agree with you on Vita. Like first walking in the entrance look, I was like, that's my winner right there. She doesn't have to be able to sew. She don't need to be able to dance. Just based off of the look, that's my girl right there. But some of them are really growing on me. Athena Dion is growing on me a lot. And Athena looks so good out of drag too. I'm like, you are just a beautiful, beautiful person. And
I'm trying to love Athena.
She's a grand dame, so it's very
and she is talented, obviously. I mean, I've seen her in real life even. I mean, she's very talented. Every show has to have this person, but she annoys me on the show. Like through and through. And I try my hardest because I know I clearly have been on one. So I know every show has to have the 1 or 2. But I'm like, oh my God. Only because I wanted to mirror what she's given on the show right now.
Yeah.
and it's not yet, but I have a feeling she's going to be like the Rosé. Like I have a feeling she's going to just start really ticking up.
That's actually a very good comparison because I feel like Rosé is one of those really underrated queens that was very solid in their season, made it to the final 4, but they are not talked about when we talk about the queens that have really stormed. And I'm like, Rosé actually was killing it.
Rosé was great, actually. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, other queens that season were really strong.
Yes.
So it was like, okay, but Rosé was still solid.
Rosé was solid, and I still listen to. They released a single called "Devil in the Details." It's still on my like playlist. It was a good song.
No, Rosé is a talent.
Yeah, I love me some Rosé. Okay, so listen, we get into this episode. We are the first scene aftermath of the lip sync. Didi Fuego went home. Was not shocked by that. Miss I don't want to be cha 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 queen. She got the boot. Okay. And she left a really sweet message for the ladies, lipstick message, which I thought it was cute. But then Mandy Mango is reflecting on her dresses, her ugly dresses. Like the first one, Cardi B hated. The second one, the judges them. Unpopular opinion, I thought her second runway dress with the table and stuff, I actually liked that look.
Yeah, I did not dislike it, actually. I think the only reason why I always struggle with certain outfits on the runway is because I'm like, wow, what if this is a bold move? Because that means you don't think you're going to be lip syncing.
Right. But I mean, you shouldn't think that though, right?
Yeah, well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I mean, especially because I actually do wonder how much they see the other queens when they're getting dressed. Because, Drag Race is quick, actually. Yeah. It's a very quick filming process. And so I'm like, I wonder if she stood up side by side. I'm like, yeah, I'm killing it. But I do think I actually did not mind it at all. I thought it was creative.
Yeah, I thought too. My only critique of that was like, her neck, her back, her cracked body part that she wanted to show off was face. And I'm like, well, if you're going to get face, the makeup has to be painted. Like it has to be flawless. And it wasn't. It just wasn't.
No, she hasn't had the best makeup skills. I haven't really, really loved her makeup aesthetic.
Yeah.
I did expect her to still be solid. And I don't think if she is solid, she just get an opportunity to really show it for herself because I hate her lip syncing, actually. I think it is some of the sloppiest lip syncing I have ever seen.
The queens think they can throw a dip in and that's supposed to win them. And I'm like, you also were overdoing it.
Yeah, her dips were awful. Like it was so bad. Like I was really like, I know the ballroom girls are going ballistic watching this right now because and some of the queens were livid. And I was like, why are y'all living? She's not really completed the dip. It's not one beat. And some people really just think that they can just throw it in and be like, now we're good. I'm going to win tonight.
I'm going to win. I stormed. But it's also like when she, in that last lip sync that she did, episode 2, one of her dips, she hit the ground so hard. I was like, I know she's concussed.
I was worried. I said, I don't know if she hit the top of her back or her head. Either way,
medic
done. Right.
Medic.
Please get the medic on site.
So we go back and it's a new day in the workroom. We get Rue's rule number 53. And the rule is, in comedy, timing is everything. Without it, you're just another queen talking too much. And I'm kind of here for the RuPaul's, the Rue rules this season, but every time I can't help, they always put me in the mind of Uncle Clifford from P-Valley.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And his rules.
That is, I mean, God, when that show gonna come back? But
okay, my cousin's gonna be in this upcoming season too. So
I can't wait, and I love me some Nico as well. So I'm really hoping for more expediency. But
yeah, so sweet,
so sweet. Oh my gosh, but I do love that the rules at the Pank. So yeah,
exactly. Rue tells the queens that they are going to be starting in the RDR Live Challenge. Now we already talked about this at the top. It's a sketch comedy challenge. I'm automatically nervous because also with this group of queens, I'm like, we don't have a lot of theater, like actor, like super funny queens. So I was nervous. You were as well, right?
I was, yeah. Like you didn't see there isn't like someone at least like noticeably like a Jinx, right? Yeah. Or someone who you can just tell will do really good at acting. And sometimes I like that because those are people who shock you. Yeah, and they end up being really good in some moments. I mean, again, I referenced this person already, but Simone. Yeah, I was genuinely shocked at how good she was. I was like, oh,
FECTRY.
Right, exactly. It just was something that I was not expecting. And similar to this, we had a couple standouts that I was not expecting.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's a good thing to go in blindly and not knowing who the standouts will be automatically. Yep. So Juicy Love Dion immediately knows that this is going to be a rough go for her. She's like, I'm not an acting queen. I'm just a cute, I get to prance around and be adorable, but acting is not in my wheelhouse. And immediately when we get that scene, Preston, you know this more than anybody else. Immediately when we get that scene, I'm like, oh, I know her storyline for this episode.
She about to do real good. It is always funny when that happens. I'm like, either somebody doing that. It's like when they show you someone struggling, like designing, they're like, oh, I can't design this. And suddenly they turn out like the biggest, like outfit. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I should have known this by now.
Exactly. That was it. I was like, she's either about to win this whole thing or she's going to flop so badly that this is her exit episode. Nothing in between. She will not be safe for this episode. That's what I know. Exactly. Exactly. So they get the roles, they get the script, and they all pick the roles, and it's actually going surprisingly well. Like I was shocked at how like amicable they all were when they were choosing the roles.
Same, because usually they're not.
No.
Yeah, usually they know exactly. Well, no one ever really wants the host role. Because that host role really is the role that you either flop or you do really well. And you have examples of both happening. And so that one I was like, I also didn't like, Jane obviously did her big one, but I don't know. I figured there may be relationship issues between Jane and Athena as well, because Jane is very shady to Athena often so far. And I mean, obviously Jane is a girl who knows what she wants and clearly did well at it. But Athena also did well, but I was like, dang, y'all, I don't even love Athena that much right now, but give her something. She's showing more than y'all. Give her something.
Yeah, but I think they're giving her that storyline of, this polished queen that's coming. She came in with her reputation. She came in as the Grand Dame. She calls herself the Grand Dame of Miami. So she comes in like the baddest bitch. And I think what the story arc that they're giving her is like trying to take her down a couple of notches. Because there's a queen like that every season too.
Every season. You're right. There's always someone who, is the best of the best of the best where they are. And then they come on, and the goal is to humble them.
Yeah, and it's really funny. But you mentioned the shade and how Jane don't shades Athena. Briar Blush also is so shady. She's growing on me though, because the first episode I was like, she came in a little too hot, and I was like, I don't like when the girls come in and I can immediately tell that you're trying to be the villain of the season. So I thought that's what Briar was giving, but she's just like an annoying little sister.
Yeah, exactly. She's annoying.
Yep.
She's annoying. She really don't mean too much harm. Like she's just there. And she is somebody as well for me. I'm like, okay, I don't hate you as much as I thought I would.
Right, because it was really the haircut that threw. I was like, I don't like that haircut, so I'm not gonna like the queen. But the body is always
Always
sitting,
good. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
always sitting. So I can't be mad at that. I love when girls give good body on the
Uh-huh.
runway because I'm like, this is what Drag Race is for. This
Yup.
is why y'all do this.
It's the contouring, it's the illusion, it's everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So Briar tells Athena, you should host because last challenge you wanted the disco song so bad, and that didn't work out for you too well.
Which is so shady, but so true though. It's like
It was very true because they fought hard for that disco challenge and it flopped so
bad.
badly. I was nervous though for Jane Don't this here
Mhm.
because she was so sure that she was going to kill it and everybody else was as well. And I was like, oh, are they also giving her the storyline of I'm going to be so good? And then she flops.
You know what? I will say this is when I got a little annoyed with Jane Don't because because we have seen queens in prior seasons who were just good queens throughout the season, right? Like they may have won a first couple, but they stayed pretty consistent. I mean, Sasha Colby, Simone, like you have some queens that were just pretty consistently good throughout, but they rarely had such a big chip on their shoulder when they were always like, "No, the queens are gonna hate me," and if I do, I'm like, "Girl, you just want somebody to say you good." Like I promise you, you're not the first queen that does well her first 3 or 4 episodes.
That was what was killing me this entire episode because it's like, oh, poor that. Poor
Right.
you, Jane. You're doing so well.
So is me. I'm doing so well. Everyone's gonna hate me. Girl, get over it.
Right. Tiny violin for you, Jane.
Right. But to your point, I did also have the same thing. I'm like, okay, I really do wonder. But I think Jane is someone who we haven't really seen her lip sync. No, I don't think we've seen her lip sync so far. So she's somebody who I just can't tell how she's gonna do.
Yeah.
And I really love like this. Another example I'll give is like this willow pill effect. Like I can't really tell how you're gonna do.
Yeah.
But when you do something, it's gonna be good.
It's interesting because there's a few different arcs that her story could take because we've had queens in the past who started out really well, like a Susie 2, Q, right? They started out really strong and you're like, yeah, front runners for sure. And then they don't even make the finale.
Yeah. Which I know some people didn't like that. I think that was actually the correct call with Susie 2. But but I get it though. But that really is the arc of a lot of them. And they're still good queens, great queens. But there are times where it's like there's something that plateaus after a while.
Exactly. It's like a blue flame. Like you start out like really, really strong and then you kind of like fizzle out feels cruel because I don't think they really fizzle out. I think the other queens just really turn it up towards the end of the season.
And a lot of that I think also depends on the order of certain challenges too.
Yep.
Like you are, I mean, we obviously saw a design challenge, which I mean, there are some queens that are actually just great designers on this season, but there are some challenges we haven't seen. We haven't really seen people fully perform for real yet. And so there's just some things we haven't seen yet. And that is why I like the arc of Drag Race, because who you think is going to storm in the beginning may not be that person even in the middle of the season.
Yeah. And we're so early. So I'm really excited to see because this next queen, Mikey Meeks, for me, like I was just very indifferent about Mikey Meeks. And I think coming out of this episode, I was like, wait, I'm going to keep my eye on Mikey. Yeah.
I think she was the main queen that I was like, I'm excited to see what's next.
Yes. Because something about Mikey in this episode, I was like, okay, they are coming alive for me and they haven't done bad. So it's like, why wasn't my eye on them initially?
Yeah. Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Mikey Meeks was the scene partner with Juicy Love, right? Yep. Yeah. Mikey was great. Was phenomenal. So yeah, I'm really interested in, and I think it's because of so many queens, right? It's like, okay, my eyes on a lot of y'all. But Mikey definitely and how kind she was to Juicy and how much she gave good feedback and really supported her throughout that. I really loved it. I love that scene with them when they were getting their makeup done or when they were doing their makeup because it was just so sweet to me.
It really was sweet. And I love that Mikey Meeks knew all the Drag Race references too. Like when they were reading the script and she's like, oh, you need to say it like her. You need to say it like her. Because a lot of these queens, they come in. We were talking about this in the last recap with Carlos Harris. They come in and they don't know the references. And I'm like, you have to do your homework when you come on a show like this. So Mikey knew it, and I don't know how old Mikey is, but she looks like a younger queen. So I'm like, for the younger queens to know the references, I love that. Love a young girl who knows her homework, who does her homework. So Rue and Sarah Sherman come in, and Harpo, who is that woman?
When I tell you, there are times where I'll be like, so when am I gonna get my call to be a judge? Because I literally when I tell you my head was down doing something, and I looked, they said, sure. I said, who the hell is that?
But I was like, I don't watch SNL, so maybe that's why I don't know her.
I mean, the only thing I watch is like those little clips that come out with black women who no longer is on SNL now. So I'm like, maybe that's why I don't get the reference too much. But they were like, I love her. I said, no, you don't. You don't know that.
The way that the applause was so loud in the workroom when she came in, and I was like, I wonder if production told them to clap real loud.
You know what I heard actually though? So I heard through the grapevine that what typically happens is they actually don't tell them who's coming in. They mostly just tell them to make a lot of noise.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they come back and edit the rest in. Yeah. Because I was like, I know good and damn well Vita and Kenya don't know no.
That makes it even more shady to me though, because imagine if they didn't prep them and then Sarah Sherman walks in and the twins are like, no shade to you, Sarah Sherman. You end up seeing this.
Sarah
I'm sure you do a lovely job, but
Sarah was funny, and Quads is kept. She gave a little bit better feedback than Cardi B did. So,
because Cardi B was coming at next. Cardi B was like, "I'm really here to kill and destroy your self-esteem."
I said, "Dang, you ain't got no better feedback."
Yeah, but no, Sarah Sherman comes in and Rue talks to all of the girls. They get them in their groups. And when they get to the group with Discord Adams, who has that funny walk, I was shocked. Rue told Discord to keep doing her walk that way.
Yeah, because I hate every bit of her walk. And I was shocked. I just knew she was going to say, do something else, fix it. I'm like, she literally walks like the woman on Top Model. That we all, I'm like that clip that we all know.
Yes.
And I'm like, no.
Do you watch The Real Housewives of Potomac?
I do.
You remember that one season Karen was making fun of how Wendy walked, and she was like, and you slithered over there, and Wendy was like, I didn't slither, I sauntered, and then they were all
I remember it well.
That's the walk that Discord Adams does. She saw that episode and was like, that's my signature.
Got it.
So then we go into the challenge, okay, RDR Live, and let's talk about the first group. All right, this is the first group, the opening group. They are the Tuckahoe, like butter churning thing. Now, I thought the idea was very clever. There's always going to be some really clever writing. They were okay. I didn't laugh, but I found myself entertained.
Yeah, same. You know what? I chuckled a little bit, but I feel like it was even my own forced chuckle. Like people were watching me watch it. But you're right. I was entertained. I was a little bit surprised at the critique of Mandy here because I actually did not hate what she gave.
Thank you.
Like I was like, it seemed to me like she was just trying to do something extra even with the character, but she still to me stayed aligned with like against her scene partner. So I don't know. I didn't really love that. I feel like they were just reaching for something because they knew this was her episode to go.
Yep.
But again, I was entertained, but I didn't find it the funniest.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. I feel like they said, because in any other instance, like the comedy is in the fact that she's playing this Amish butter churning woman, and then she pulls out her boobs. That is the comedy.
To me, that still aligns.
Right. Right. So yeah, they were just wanting her to go.
Yeah, because what else should she have done? Just sit there? Because if she would have, they would have just said, "Oh, you got eaten up by your scene partner."
Thank you.
So it's like, that's all. You can never really win.
It was a little. When it's your time to go, honey, it's your time to go. You cannot do anything right in their eyes. So then Athena and Briar come out. Athena is the host. Briar is the inner saboteur. Also, kind of surprised at Briar's critique because I thought she did okay.
Yeah. Again, to me, it's similar. I mean, I definitely think Athena did really well.
Yes.
In comparison, but I didn't think Briar was bad either.
Right.
I guess I do understand a little bit, give a little bit more if you're going to be an inner saboteur, but it didn't feel like the way you would have thought she was awful the way they talked. I was like, she was okay. Like,
yeah. Michelle said it was a missed opportunity. I'm like, no, like I think she was kind of almost there. She was heating up. She was heating up. But I think they did okay. And then the next skit was the Monster Queef Theater. And that intro was so funny. And they are not the same. This is not what I'm saying. But I don't know if it's because I just had Candace on the queue, this other series that I host. and we were talking about Lori Beth Denberg and
Oh,
Athena sitting in that like library room. I was like, why is this giving me vital information for my everyday
uh-huh.
life?
It's
Until she
funny.
opened her legs to queef. And then I was like, that wouldn't have been on all
Like,
that.
never mind. Listen, and me and Candace are very aligned there. I love me some all that and Lori Beth Ginsburg.
Yes. Oh my God.
Listen, I was just rewatching episodes of Steve Harvey show, and I was like, oh, look, come on,
Yes.
Lori Beth.
I miss her so much. Lori,
Right.
reply to my DM, girl. I sent you a DM. Please respond. So then the next skit was the lipstick lovers. Now this one is where I started to be like, okay, I'm a little nervous for my girl Vita because I
Mhm.
didn't, I did not think she did
It
a good
was
job at all.
so one note, and even
Yeah,
more than just it being monotone, I don't even think she knew where to look in some parts.
yeah.
There were some parts I'm like, is she looking in the camera or is she looking? Where is she looking? And it was very clear that she was just trying to remember her lines and not actually give you levels, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't even need to change your voice at all, actually. You like the whole point is being butch. That is what you represent. And something you could have kept your voice, actually.
You made your voice deeper for what?
That's
It's
why
already deep.
Kenya's joke was so funny because she's like, I don't know where she got that little voice from. And especially because the other two scene partners really did well.
Yeah, they
So
turned
it
it.
just, it really, I was so nervous for her. I was like, I don't know where, but then thankfully the runway outfit. But anyway, we'll get to that. But,
Right. Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
that was not, in fact, she was probably one of the worst for me overall for RDO.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. It wasn't good, and this is also a scene though where I had to check myself on Kenya because I said in the last recap I was like Kenya. I think Kenya has so much potential.
Mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful queen. But I was like I feel like Kenya is trying to be a caricature of like the other like plus size black queens who came
Yeah.
before. And so I was kind of giving her a little bit of fever there. But so when we were watching this, I was just like, oh, Kenya is doing too much, like initially. But then I was like, you only think she's doing too much because you've already painted her as a queen who does too much. Take that out of your memory and then look at the scene for what it was. And once I was able to check myself, I was like, no, she actually turned it. That's the energy she was supposed to come in with.
Oh yeah, she actually to me was one of the stronger performers for RDR Live, but I do
Mhm.
remember her saying the only reason why she wanted it. I think her quote was because I want to come in and fuck shit up.
Yep.
And so like I really appreciated her that. But you know what? This may be my own bias, but I also do believe I feel that a little bit too. I almost feel a little bit of like her trying to be a Silky in ways that I am like, okay, is this my own bias because
Mhm.
there are two big girls, big queens, or is
Mhm.
it really just no? I actually can still see the reference, and that's okay too. Uh,
Right.
and so I can't really tell what it is yet, so I'm gonna keep checking myself as I watch it.
Yeah, that's what I have to do. And I think, to your point, we're at the point in Drag Race, we're 18 seasons in. I think Kenya is also one of the younger queens
She is,
this
yeah,
season. When these young girls come in, they've grown up watching Drag
correct.
Race, so they are gonna reference some
Yeah,
of the
and I think
queens.
very unintentionally so,
Mhm,
right? Like I
mhm.
don't think that's not the same thing I say. I think she's not mocking, but trying to actually replicate it. I don't
Right.
necessarily think that's true, but I do think you unintentionally, if you grow like they're younger than us.
Mhm,
So it's like if
mhm.
and we watch all of them. So if you do that and you're also a drag queen, I can only imagine she may unintentionally pick up those references and
Yeah.
give them back.
Yeah, but I like Kenya Pleaser. We
I
posted a
like
clip.
Kenya a lot though, honestly. I really do.
Yeah, she's good. And we posted a clip of us kind of critiquing her, and she was so gracious about it too. Like, she really accepted the feedback and was like grateful that, we talked about her having a lot of potential. So that also was like, it makes me feel bad sometimes when I'm critiquing people and then they see it and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. No, that's the nature of of being on reality TV show. Like you have to have a thick skin. You really,
Absolutely.
really do, which I'll whatever. We ain't gotta talk about Cole and
Look, no,
energy.
I was literally about to say yes because I remember you got on and cussed us all out after that one episode when you were in your room and you're like, y'all are never gonna make me feel bad about being naked in my body. I'm comfortable. I was like,
You know what? Because that's funny though. Because I remember people were like, I was not expecting to see Preston's ass on TV. I'm like, and guess who really wasn't who expecting it? Me. And I was like, but the reality is, I love my cheeks, and I'm okay with that.
listen, it's here. Y'all gonna deal, and we're gonna move on.
But to that point though, there is stuff that you really don't expect to be put out there, even
Right.
even even though you're filming for something. Because Because frankly, I wasn't filming anything in that moment. It was the aerial camera.
Yeah.
So that was the moment I was really like, this was actually unnecessary and had nothing to do with anything that's happening. So, and I even told them, I was like, this is actually unnecessary. I'm not sure why you decided to put that in there, which I don't know. I could talk about my things around being queer and stuff because I do think there's like levels to stuff.
Ooh,
But
yeah.
yeah, because I'm like, you
What
could have
y'all
shown
trying to
Amir's
do?
ass. I guarantee
Right.
you Amir was naked in his room.
That's the thing too, because it's like, what network are we on, and what show is this? What are y'all trying to turn this into?
Oh, but yes, but to the point, I do like my ass. So yeah.
As you should. Okay. So then we get into the musical guest, which was RuPaul.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm never gonna skip a moment to watch RuPaul perform. I love RuPaul.
Let me tell you something. I wanted to stop. I wanted to stop. Like,
Really?
as much as I love Mama Ru, I wanted to stop. The singing, the dancing. I wanted to stop. Like, we've been there, we've tried it. Love this song with her and Todrick Hall called Doll Hairs. Like that. I think that's with Shangela. Ugh. There's another song though on Todrick's lap, Forbidden, with RuPaul that I really do enjoy though. I can't think of the name of it right now. But yeah, it just almost feels a little forced right now. And I think that's my only, I forget what season, maybe it was last season even. And RuPaul was dancing. And when I tell you nothing was moving, not a shoulder, not an arm.
Ru is very stiff, but it's like, where else do you get to see a woman in her, 90s up there performing?
Let me tell you, Ru has been out for decades. So, that's why I say I will always love, respect, and appreciate Ru for, I mean, in many ways, destigmatizing and normalizing just drag queens. Like, I think she is one of the ones who really got, like, people to discuss just being non-binary, right? And just getting out of certain gender binary conversations. And that should be respected. And I'm done with the singing.
You're like, you can retire, Mama. You've given us everything.
And she should. She deserves to have all her rest. But
she wants to live out her pop diva dreams, though, at 102. I love that. I love it.
Gonna keep upping this age. Because we don't ever really know the age. She gonna look good.
That's the thing, right? It's always gonna give. So she's gonna outlive all of us, honestly.
Yeah,
I love that. So okay, I like the performance. You weren't really here for it. We can go ahead and move on. So the next clip is the Queen's News Network. This is actually where I was like, okay, Breyer, you flopped this, babe.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. That is when I did realize that Breyer was going to be closer to the bottom.
Yeah,
because I didn't understand what she was even going for. I don't know if she did.
No.
But because I do expect more from Breyer, I do think Breyer is going to be a really solid queen. At least I hope that for her. But this was not it was not good for her.
That's the thing, because I'm always like, too, you can't be like a shady queen in the way that Breyer is and not turn it every time. Because then it's like, now you're just being annoying for no reason. You're not even like good, and you can't even back it up. So you're trying to shit on other people and you're not doing any better.
That is why you always have to be mindful of the words you use on that show. Because if you are shady, they're like, looks like you're in the bottom. Well, let me start being nice.
Yes, change your tune, honey.
Right.
So the standout for me in the Queen's News Network was absolutely Mrs. Mist. Because Sierra Mist also was just there. And I was like, you were slightly better than Breyer, but like also not that good.
Yeah, no, she was pretty mid.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Pretty mid. The mama, clearly not, but no. Sierra it was to the point where I almost forgot her name. I was like, what's her name again?
I won't forget her name because I don't like her makeup, so I always remember it. But Carlos schooled me. He said her makeup is very like club kid. So I was like, that's just, kind of an era that I don't really have any knowledge of. And so it doesn't resonate with me, but
yeah, I mean, and I get the reference. I just don't love it.
Yeah,
like I think I've seen people do better with the same reference.
Okay,
and I think hers to me is just it is intentionally exaggerated in many ways, etc. Like it's purposeful, but I still don't love it. But I forget who. Someone on the show did make a comment around her. They were like, "Oh," and they were like, "You say something, but you're a discontinued soda brand."
Yes, A soda brand from the 90s. A discontinued soda brand from the 90s. Yep. So yeah, and then Mrs. Mist, that character, which is Jane Don't, came out, and I was like, that looks like the lady from Weapons. Have you seen that movie
Oh
Weapons?
my God, yeah. Yes.
Looks
I didn't
just
put that
like her.
yeah, yeah. I didn't
Mhm.
even put that reference together. Yeah.
Yeah, but
She
she did
was
a really good job.
she was so good. Like I was watching it laughing the entire time because she really stole the show. She
Well,
slid right on in and said, "All right, well, since y'all are boring."
here I come to save this segment, basically. That's how she came in. And then the next skit was young Michelle. Now I have to say, I laughed out loud when Michelle was like tap dancing.
I loved that scene. Like that skit was so good. They
Yeah,
were so good together.
yeah, this one was really good. So we had Mikey Meeks and Juicy Love Dion. Mikey was young Michelle, and then Juicy Love Dion was the head secretary.
Mhm.
And I don't know. So Juicy Love Dion was doing this accent. It wasn't quite this, but it kind of
Mhm.
put me in the mind of Fran Drescher a little bit.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
I'm not really sure who she because I know originally the idea she was thinking about was like a Jersey girl,
Yeah.
but it did give me like a very young friend.
Yeah, even the outfit in the stance was
Uh-huh.
like very, very Fran Drescher. So I love that they killed that scene. It was a really good scene to end the RDR live
Mhm.
on because it was probably the strongest one, I think.
Agreed, agreed. I do love even I think it was Michelle who made a reference to the way she stood.
Yes.
Because I've been paid, I was like, this is good. This is good.
Yeah. She went in there and did what she needed to do. I really respect that. So then we go back into the workroom because they have to get ready for the runway. And this scene wasn't a whole lot, but I did start to feel like really endeared to Athena and Briar. I was like, they have a
Mhm.
little like sister, big sister, little sister friendship. And then this is also when Jane Doe was really in her head and crying because she thought she did so well that the girls are gonna be mad at
I
her.
said, girl, let it go. But you're right. I did love because at first I thought it was very because even in the beginning, Athena had said something about Briar that made me go, oh my gosh, we don't like that girl.
Yeah.
And then near the end, I was like, you know what? I think it's one of those little annoyances because I look at this person as a little sister, not because I genuinely dislike them.
Right, exactly. That's how I think their relationship is gonna unfold. And then also in this scene toward the end, we learned that Sierra Mist is a prosthetic artist
Mhm.
and she worked for the Secret Service before.
I
Oh,
said, Mama has had 20,000 lives. I
the Secret Service
was like, is
doing
he
what?
doing everything?
Something secret, huh?
Right. I said, oh, you former, huh?
Right. Let me find out she's a Russian spy, okay?
Right.
So then, okay, let's jump into our runway. But Rue walks out, and I will say I loved Rue's look. If I was gonna be a drag queen, that's a look that like I would wear.
No, Rue is bar none at always her peak on the runway.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I
Mm-hmm.
tell you, Rue looks so good. The makeup is always beat. I mean, even her references are always fun. I love Rue's cackle. Because Rue will cackle. I
Yes.
really want her and Kamala to have a cackle off because like that to me is always funny. But she looks good.
So good. I loved that dress. And so category is animal attraction. That's why I have on my little like kitten
Oh,
ears
man, I can see
on my
this.
yeah. I'm like, there's so much going on in my movie posters. I'm like, you probably can't see, but I have little kitten ears
I
on for
do.
animal attraction. Okay. So first up we have Discord Adams and her walk. She was an albino alligator. What did you think about that?
It was a miss for me. I
It was
didn't it was
okay.
yeah, I was like, okay, this can be cute, but maybe on a different person.
Yeah, it
I
like the
realize
hair.
I realize I'm not the biggest fan of Discord right now. Like
Okay.
I just don't I'm sure she's talented, obviously, especially in terms of design.
Hmm.
But I just don't really see the like America's next drag superstar from her.
Sure. Yeah, she's interesting because
Yeah,
she did. Yeah, she had my favorite entrance look though. Like I
she was
love.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, she looked so good there, and then even last week I didn't hate her look. I didn't live for it, but I didn't hate it either.
Mhm.
So, but this week I was just like, oh, and I didn't like the hair on.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was just too much. So then Mia Star came, and Mia was a pink poodle.
Mhm.
I feel like this was very on brand for Mia.
Yeah. I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, with Mia, I actually want to see more. She's another person I want to see more of,
Hmm.
even though I do wonder who she gets into it with next week, but we'll see that. But I don't know how much. She's good. I can tell she's good, especially when it comes to dancing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess after a while, you do want to start to see what feels like is different. We'll get to this person, but I think like even if Juicy would have wore something that Mia wore this week, I would have probably given that same critique to Juicy. We see the cute so far. We get it. We get it.
Yeah. And I liked Mia.
But it was cute. It was actually, I liked it.
It was cute. It worked for Mia. I wasn't like gagged by it, but I was like, it feels on brand. She kind of has that like homegirl, kind of almost like ghetto fabulous like aesthetic, and so very urban aesthetic, I should say, right? And so even the way that the poofs were on the boobs and the butt and like the hair, I was like, okay, this makes sense for who we are knowing her to be. So I think branding wise, she has her branding,
which is good.
Yeah, which is really good.
I want to interject just to say it is interesting, though, even to my own point, but to the point where I hear on Drag Race, because it feels like sometimes they don't even know what they're looking for in certain instances, right? Because I've heard them critique queens for being too on brand and wanting to diversify more. And then for other queens, they're like, oh, good, you know your brand and stick to your brand. Yeah. And so I don't like how they give the inconsistency in that way, because I'm like, okay, which one is it? Like, what do you actually want for these queens?
I agree.
And I'll be honest even more, and I don't mean to be controversial, but I think she let white queens get away with it a lot more than black and brown queens.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I never really picked up on it, but
yeah, there's some queens I actually don't know how much I've heard a critique on, and I think it only applies to certain queens. Michelle's the same way. I think it only applies to certain queens if their makeup is a certain way too, right? Like, I will never forget how much Michelle would like critique certain drag queens' makeup because it was like the crystal method effect, right, if you will. Yep. So like big lips, big eyes, etc. But then there were other queens who clearly just wore the same paint every week, and she never said anything to.
Yep.
And so it's weird to me because I'm like, is this only because this is more noticeable here? Because I don't see the difference between that and this.
Yeah.
But it happens quite a bit, I've noticed, especially when it comes to the look.
I imagine personal taste comes into it a lot, and maybe even just like how you personally feel about the queen, which like we want to hope that they don't let their personal feelings for the queens interfere with how they critique them. But I think it's only human. Like if you really connect with the queen or you really like them, like you're gonna give them a pass versus a queen that you just don't connect with.
It's always human. Like we are to listen to conflict, to have bias is to be human. Yeah, it's gonna show up even if we try our hardest to make sure it doesn't.
Agreed. But yeah, Mia Starr is actually one of those queens that I just like on a personal level. Like I feel like that's someone that like I would really have a good time with.
That's how I feel about Kenya. Well, that's how I feel about Mia as well, but that's how I also feel about Kenya.
Yeah. So then Mandy Mango came out, and Mandy was a deer. And how do you feel about Mandy before I give mine?
She looked like a deer in headlights. You know what I hated if I'm honest, you know what I hated the most? The makeup.
Yeah, she has to refine that makeup.
Yeah, I did not love the makeup. It was almost even hard to find her eyes and all the white. Like I didn't love it. I didn't love the makeup. I'll say that. It was definitely not one of my favorites.
Yeah, I liked the look, but overall it just needed a little bit more polish to me. And it does start with the makeup. And then I even think with the bodysuit that she had on, it didn't matter. Like, and it's hard to do, but I hate when I can tell when something stops. Like it's supposed to be like a body,
like blended.
Yeah, blended. I was like, it wasn't blended there, so I could tell you just had this like mock neck bodysuit on, and you threw something out. She looked good though. The body was amazing. The proportions were there. I liked that. So then Darlene Mitchell was a cow.
Yeah.
Wearing
I did. I have to echo T.S. Madison because she's like, bitch, move. Like I did. Darlene is someone who also I'd be forgetting about until I'm like, oh, you're pretty good actually.
Yeah.
I don't know how I forget about her as much, but probably because I hate her name so.
Darlene Mitchell.
What in the Peg Bundy is happening?
For real, Darlene Mitchell, she sounds like she works at the DMV in like a whole dunk town in Indiana. She drinks Coors Light. Okay.
Like next.
Next. Did you bring your ID?
Look, cigarette on the side of the mouth. But
definitely a cigarette. The same light.
But I did like her. I was a fan of it.
Yeah, it was very camp. Like even before she said this is so camp, when she walked out, I was like, camp down, like very that. I did hate the flats though. I was like, this look would have been elevated if that was a real hoof heel.
Yeah, that was definitely an opportunity, a missed opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah. Athena Dion was a white barn owl, opulent.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That's the thing about Athena that, that pisses me off. I know she good. Like,
Mhm,
I know she's good. You know, I there's something I still want a little bit more of that I can't identify. So I want to also process that. But I
mhm.
think like Athena is good, and I also really, really like this look.
Yeah, this one was really good. I wanna say this might be my favorite
Okay.
of the night because it's the type of drama that I wanna see on the runway.
Yeah.
And it's kind of something that even last runway, I was like, even the best looks to me didn't blow me away in the last
Yeah.
runway. So
Yeah.
I'm just like looking for, and I mean, we keep talking about Simone, but every
Mhm.
time Simone stepped on that fucking runway, mouth
My
agape.
mouth dropped every time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that moment from people again.
Yeah.
Like there are some moments where I'm like, I know it's gonna be different. I know it's gonna be honoring Black folks. I like the first time I saw that do rag train,
Mhm.
I was like, what?
I've still never recovered from that.
No. Like it was that was to me a jaw-breaking, groundbreaking moment in Drag Race history for that I think we'll be talking
Absolutely.
about for a long time. Because I'm always looking for a queen that's like that maybe that I've just never quite seen before. Like
Mhm.
quite seen the aesthetic, like someone who's making challenge, like making bold decisions, or at least has a
Mhm.
team that helps them make those bold decisions. I'm waiting for those moments, and I don't think we get them too often.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Like Athena's was like more of the elevated looks on the runway. The past 2 weeks probably, but yeah.
Yeah, I like that, and also speaking of, like, past queen, this was right before we got Simone, but Jada Essence Hall is also
Oh
one
yeah,
of my favorite
another person.
runway killers, like
Another person. Face was always beat. Looks were always there. Like she's another person who I was like gagged always.
mhm.
And one day I'm probably gonna do a vent session about how much people need to really love Jada Essence Hall more. I really think COVID messed her up so much in the
Yeah.
terms of popularity in a sense, like us really respecting her as one of the best queens to win
Yep.
because Jada gave it every episode.
Every episode.
And of course, you know, Gigi Good, same season, also amazing.
Mhm, mhm.
But that was one of those things. I'm like, I actually had no clue who was gonna win,
Yeah.
but Jada really, really is a great queen.
She's one of, if not my favorite queen
Same,
of all time,
same.
and she's my hometown queen. She's from Milwaukee,
Oh, amazing!
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
love
Jada
me some
is
Jada.
absolutely one of my favorite queens, like
Mhm.
hands down.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So then a Briar Brush came out and she was just as a swan. Look, I was here for it
Mhm.
actually.
I like Briar. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Briar's look.
I thought she looked great. I thought the outfit was good. I
Mhm.
really didn't have any critiques about it because I think it could have easily veered into costume and it stopped right
It
before it
didn't.
got there.
Yeah, it did not. Mhm.
Yeah, I like that. Our girl Vita Von Teese was a
Yeah,
zebra. What'd
the
you think of
zebra.
that?
I loved it. It was to me it was something I was not expecting because I was like, I don't know what people are ever gonna be, especially when they're doing their makeup. I'm like, what is this? What are you gonna be?
Yeah.
Like my costume. What did you say? My
Culture is not your costume. When she had the
stupid,
white face.
stupid. But no, it was really also I think the elevation for me of even like the claws.
Yeah,
Which I
yeah.
was like, you know what? I didn't know how I felt about it at first, and I was like, you know what? Go off. I think sometimes it really is in the sell of things.
Mhm.
And the judges really liked her look, and I did too. I actually thought it was one of my favorite looks.
Yeah, they did they bought what she was selling. I
Mhm.
thought it was okay. It was a really common silhouette, and that was kind of where I was like, I'm a
Mm,
little underwhelmed by just like the one piece like bodysuit thing. There are ways to elevate it, like you said, with
right.
the scratches and then even the headpiece. I
Mhm.
liked, but I was just like, that silhouette, we see it so much. But
Yep.
I do think I'm like, we're again 18 seasons in, there aren't
Yeah.
too many more like unique silhouettes that we can see.
Right. That's the thing. That's why I'm like I'm always trying to push myself. What do I actually want to see?
Right.
I'm like because we've seen a lot. We've seen
Yeah.
a lot of it at this point.
Yeah, that's true. So then Nene Coco came out and
Mhm.
she was a poison dart frog.
She's someone actually who I forgot to mention in the beginning, and someone who you don't really see a lot from Nene. She doesn't really
Mhm.
talk a lot, like, but she is the queen that I do like.
Mhm.
And I'm really trying to see more from her. But I didn't, but I didn't. I actually liked her look. Like it wasn't bad at all, and it also
Mhm.
didn't blow me away.
Right.
But I did like it overall.
It was the mug for me. Like she's
Yeah.
always painted. Like
Her
I
mug is
yeah.
so good, muggy,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
always good.
Very that, very that. But yeah, I didn't really like the outfit that much. But my notes literally said didn't like the outfit, but the face.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it
Mm-hmm.
says. Your boo, Kenya Pleaser with her
Yeah,
pimp tiger.
I hated it.
Yeah, I
Hated
was
it.
like, and this is the second runway in a row where I've literally written no,
Yeah,
capital A, capital O.
hated it. Yeah, it's just so hard for me because I'm like, everyone is not going to buy into someone's creativity, right?
Mhm.
We all have different creative expressions. I was just not a fan of hers. I was like a tiger and then a pimp. Like, what the hell does that even mean? It became one of those things where I'm like, I feel like you're trying to be camp, but you're not a camp girl. You're just not, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But I was not a fan.
I was not either. I was like, why are you coming out here looking like Cookie Lion? Okay, let's not do that again. Okay, Kenya.
I was like, why do you have that? I'm like, she should have been the one screaming when they said safe.
Yeah, seriously.
But again, I think her act. I think RDR Live saved her a little
Yeah.
bit. She was good at RDR Live, but that look was not it.
It was not it. Not it. So then Sierra Mist was a chameleon. Also no for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really much to say there. I feel bad.
Exactly.
Jane Don't was a macaw. I don't even know what that is.
Same. I still don't think I do, but
I didn't even Google it. Look, I need to be educating myself. She came out and said macaw. I was like, don't know it. Don't know her.
And I moved on. I said, it's not going to change my life if I do know it today.
That's it. I'm not taking any big tests. I don't have any. I'm past the SATs. Okay.
Look, there's no
None of that.
I need.
Yeah, exactly. But she wanted to be abstract with it. I just didn't like the look. Like I was not feeling the look.
No, agreed. I was not. This was probably the first look I was like from her. I was like,
right. And then Mikey Meeks came out and they were a cheetah. Again, didn't wow me, but the mug was good.
Yeah, same thing. I didn't love it, but it was okay.
Yeah.
But that's the thing too. Muggy, right? Always going to be good. But this was one of the looks I was like, okay, it's just okay.
Yeah, but the hair did give me Robin from Real Housewives of Potomac, that one reunion where she had leopard print in her hair. I was like, oh, look at Robin's impact.
Crying.
Juicy Love Dion came out and she was a pangolin. I did Google that because I was like, what was that?
See, and the only reason why I Googled that one is because I liked it on her. I was like, well, let me look this up. But when I tell you, she was one of the ones I like. You know what? I gagged her look in the same way I gagged week one's look for Vita. Where my mouth actually dropped because it was so well done. The modeling of it was great. Like once I saw her take that runway, I was like, "There's no way she's not winning this week."
Yeah,
like, she has to win this week.
Yeah, when she walked out, I was like, I didn't like it. But then when they were giving the critiques and Maddie was like, it gives her like Met Gala, I was like, oh, that might be like why I didn't like it at first, because it was like so just out there and like couture looking, right? Maybe that's why it just didn't resonate with me at first. But yeah, it was a very high level look for her though. I wasn't expecting her to give that at this point in the competition.
Right, got you. Yeah, you know what? Same. Yeah. I expected this to see very small and tight still. Yep. And so I appreciate it because I know she has more in her then.
Yes. So then Discord Adams, Mia Starr, Athena Dion, and Nene Coco are safe. And Mikey Meeks looks to Juicy and she's maybe we got this in the bag. And then Ru goes, Kenya Pleaser, Sierra Miss, and Mikey Meeks also safe.
It's also funny because I'm like, girl, you really thought your runway look was given enough to then compete also for the top?
That was one of the funniest moments of the episode. So then the tops and bottoms that were left with are Mandy Mango, Darlene Mitchell, Briar Blush, Vita Von Teese, Jane Don't, and Juicy Love Dion. And Juicy pulls off the win.
Yeah, I was so happy for her. Juicy is somebody who I'm like, I just like you.
Yeah.
Like, there are some people who I'm just like, I really feel you. I really appreciate you. I like your energy. And honestly, same way I did like with Morphine. I mean, I think this is probably my issue with Athena. Maybe because Athena is like the grandma, but it is like, dang, be like them.
Yeah, I think Juicy is very, you can tell they're young. Like she's a queen, and I'm like, I just want to give you a hug because she's so young, and you can tell like coming into her own, but still a little unsure. And I think when you can notice that in someone, I just want to help you like realize your own potential.
And I think grateful to be there.
Yes,
because I know this is a reality show, but for a lot of these queens, this is life-changing experiences for them.
Yeah.
So I always appreciate a queen who really doesn't feel entitled to be there per se, but feels like I can really make something shake after this opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. And so Juicy wins, like I said, and then Mandy is in the bottom second week in a row, and she is joined now by Briar Blush. Mm-hmm. They do this lip sync. I did not like the lip sync at all.
At all. Everyone, every time I kept looking, I was like, this is awful. Please get it. First of all, I hated the song for it.
That's it.
But I'm just like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, here come Mandy. Just doing whatever. I'm like, you haven't said no to nothing. Like, she just be flailing, and I was like, Mandy.
Fighting for her life. Yeah, just doing everything. And I was like, this isn't even a song that requires a dip. Why are you on the floor?
Like, get up.
Get up. Yeah, it was not like, obviously Briar was the winner, but I was like, but not by that much.
No, yeah.
Like, she didn't turn it either. But yeah, so she gets to stay. Mandy is gone. That is the end of the episode. But before I let you go, can we play a little game?
Of course.
Okay, so everyone who comes to Channel Surf, we play dinner party guest list. Now, this is really, you imagine that you get to host your dream dinner party, okay? Like the budget is limitless. So you can spend whatever you want to spend, okay? Dream chef, all of that. You get 5 invitations that you can give out for this dinner party. Let's do 5 queens from Drag Race. Who are they?
Okay, Simone.
Yes.
Jada Essence Hall. Who else? Oh my gosh, it's actually harder than I thought. Simone, Jada. Who else would I want to? I'm like, I need somebody who's gonna really make me laugh a lot. Oh, I'm gonna say Shay too. It's probably gonna be an all black party. No, Shay Coulee. Two more. This is really.
It's tough.
Yeah, it really is. Bianca Del Rio.
Yes. Ooh, I love that.
And one more. I want to pick one who I don't think is talked about enough. Let me think. Oh, actually, Heidi in Closet.
Oh, okay.
That's who I was good. Because I love Heidi. I love Heidi's personality. She was one of the ones where I'm like, you know what, baby, you need some work in the beginning. But when I tell you, she kept me hollering that season.
Yeah, Heidi in Closet is really funny, and her and Jada have a podcast together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a good party. So Simone, Jada Essence Hall, Shay Coulee, Bianca Del Rio, and Heidi in Closet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be fun and fab because Simone, Jada, and Shay.
Right, look.
Please.
Look,
what are you wearing? Because we got to make sure you come with it.
Tell me what y'all wearing first. I will go around that look.
Awesome. Well, Preston, this has been such a blast. Thank you so much for coming to chat Drag Race with me. I'm sure the people already know, but where can they find you and find some of your work and follow you if you want them to?
Oh, yeah. So website, PrestonMitchum.com. And I'm mostly on Instagram these days at Preston.Mitchum.
Love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my Drag Race recap with Preston. Make sure you guys go follow him and support him with all of the work that he is doing. And keep your fingers crossed that we get Summer House Martha's Vineyard back on our screens before each of us turns 80 years old. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.